Well, there's me and Retro Steve Adventures. God, it's got to be about 12 years ago. Dressed up as Ghostbusters for a fancy dress party. I have no idea what he's looking at, but he looks in awe. You definitely wouldn't call us anyway. Hey guys, and it's finally here. Finally, Ghostbusters Afterlife has arrived. It has felt like forever since we got the first teaser for this, which it must be about 2 years ago, right? When we got the first little teaser for this thing. And then it got cancelled because of COVID and everything. And then finally, it's here. And before I get into my thoughts for Ghostbusters Afterlife, I just want to talk about my history with Ghostbusters. Now, I'm such a huge fan of Ghostbusters. It was one of the first films my dad took to watch me. And I must have been like 4, going on 5 years old when I went to watch the first Ghostbusters at the cinema. And I just remember just in awe watching that film on the big screen. It was it was magic. It blew my little mind watching that movie, and I just fell in love with the Ghostbusters from there. And I loved the real Ghostbusters cartoon series. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm even a fan of Ghostbusters 2. I know a lot of people don't like Ghostbusters 2. I actually do. I recognise its flaws. I actually do, but I still enjoy the movie. I really do. And I had all the toys, all the real Ghostbusters cartoon toys. I had Ecto-1, I had the Ghostbusters station, I had Slimer, Ghosts. I had the lot. I had everything. I lived and breathed Ghostbusters as a kid, along with Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats. I am definitely a child of the 80s. I really am a child of the 80s. And I've always loved Ghostbusters, even going into adulthood. You know, I watch Ghostbusters, the first one. I probably watch it at least 2-3 times a year. Still. To this day, I watched Ghostbusters 1 and 2 just a few days ago before watching Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I had high expectations going into Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I tried not to. I really did. I always try not to. When you're going in to watch a movie that you're really, really looking forward to and you're excited for, you've just got to try and temper your expectations, because the movie, 9.5 times out of 10, will never match what you've got in your head, what you want to see, or what you're hoping to see. And you've got to leave them expectations at the door when you go in to watch a film you're very excited about. And this is why I am very pleased to say that I absolutely loved Ghostbusters Afterlife. I really did. I smiled throughout the whole runtime of this movie. I loved all the Easter eggs. I loved all the fan service. It really catered to me. It really did. But I can completely understand where some of the negative reviews are going with this movie. I get it. I think if you're not a big fan of the original Ghostbusters movie, or I'll just say Ghostbusters in general, to be fair, I think you might not enjoy this film, because like I say, it really does cater to the hardcore Ghostbusters fans, which is me. So I love it. I absolutely love it for that. I really do. And just to get into the plot of Ghostbusters Afterlife very quickly, it's basically based on Egon's family, his daughter and his grandkids, and they inherit his home after he passes away. So his family moves into his house in the small town of Somerville, I think it's called, Somerville, small American town. And Egon's granddaughter starts to find little bits around the house, about Ghostbusters and stuff like that, and start to like piece together who her grandfather actually was. While during this time, strange events start happening in the small town, and that is all I'm going to say, because this film is hard to talk about without spoiling it. And this is a no spoiler review, and I would never ever dream of spoiling this for you guys, because if you are big Ghostbusters fans like me, you are going to love this and what this film gives you. Trust me. Absolutely trust me. You will love it. I think one of the things to say about this film as well, you can tell it's directed by Jason Reitman, and there's a lot of love in this film towards Ghostbusters. It's very warm. It's got a big heart. It's got lots of heart. Actually, it's a beautifully shot movie. It looks great. The performances are brilliant. Everyone's really good. I enjoyed the kids in this movie, especially, I think her name's, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think the actress name is Maggie Grace, plays Egon's granddaughter. She carries this film. She is absolutely superb in this movie. She really is. I like the other kids in it. I love the kid, and I don't know the actor's name, I'm sorry, but I love the kid that plays Podcast in this movie. Most of my laughs came from him. I loved him. I thought he was brilliant. I really did. Nearly all my laughs came from that kid. I thought he did a brilliant job. Got a big thumbs up from me. And Paul Rudd, again, the sexiest man alive. Of course he is. He is brilliant in this movie. He's brilliant in everything, but he is really good in this film. And the ghosts look great when they come up. It really does hark back to the original Ghostbusters. You know, I loved it. I'm finding it hard to talk about this film without dipping into spoiler territory. It's really difficult. I think I might have to do a spoiler review for this one at some point. Like, I'll wait till this film's been out a few days or a week, and then I'll do a spoiler review just to like really give my like thoughts on certain things that happen in this movie. But yeah, I don't think this will disappoint any real hardcore Ghostbusters fans. I don't. If you go into this film knowing that a good chunk of this is with the kids, and they are pretty much the Ghostbusters of this movie, you won't be disappointed. Just please bear that in mind when you go in. But I will say, and I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want to spoil it. I will say the last 10 to 15 minutes of this, my inner kid was absolutely geeking out. Massively. I just sat there, just grinning from ear to ear, just loving what I was seeing on screen. And there were some really good laughs to have as well. And also, I am not ashamed to admit this, I cried at the end of this movie. There's a part in this film that really touched my heart. And I couldn't help it, and I started crying. But it was happy tears. It's weird. You'll get it when you watch the film, and you will 100% know the part that I'm talking about. But it was lovely, and it was very touching, and yeah, I couldn't help it. I welled up. I don't have a lot of negatives, me personally, to say about this film. But like I say, I do understand some of the negative reviews that are coming out for it. I do get it because it does cater to real hardcore Ghostbusters fans. It's like the film every 10 to 15 minutes has to remind you that it's a Ghostbusters movie. Like it'll throw in an Easter egg or a piece of music. But that's what I love about it. You know, it really played on my nostalgia love for this film. So it works for me, but I really understand how it won't work for just a casual viewer. But I will say this as well. I think kids are going to love this as well. Even if they're not fans of Ghostbusters, if they've never seen a Ghostbusters movie, I think they will. I think they'll really enjoy this film, and it will probably make them want to go back and watch the other Ghostbusters movie, apart from the 2016 one, which I don't hate. A lot of other people do, but yeah, I've only ever watched it once, and that's enough for me. I yeah, that film doesn't exist in my eyes. So I'm happy to say, guys, I absolutely loved this movie. I really did love it, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's highly worth your time. If you're a massive Ghostbusters fan, go and get this film watched. You're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. I promise you, you will. You really will. You're going to go and see it anyway. So, you don't need me to endorse this movie. You're going to go and see it anyway. But yeah, the takeaway from this, guys, is it's got a lot of heart. It's funny in parts. And it's just a good time. I never once got bored watching it. The time went quite quick. It's just under 2 hours long. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it. It's a solid 4 out of 5 for me. And yeah, I think I will get a spoiler review out for this one, guys, because there's a lot I do want to talk about, but I can't talk about it in this review. So I'll do one in about a week's time. When everyone's had the chance to go out and watch it, I'll do one. I'll do a spoiler review for it, I will. But anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to do these videos for you. And oh man, I'm just thinking about Ghostbusters. I'm just thinking about how happy it made me, to be honest with you. I really did enjoy it. I'm made up. I'm just so glad. I'm so glad it wasn't bad. Really, I'm so glad it wasn't bad. But anyway, guys, as always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, guys. Bye now.